Either way, we have red hot inflation. And that, fortunately, didn't stop us from traveling and taking vacations this summer. There's a new report from Skift, and it finds a record 53% of travelers flew or drove to their vacation in the month of July. And nearly 60% of Americans are planning a vacation soon. But the commercial airliners, they just can't catch a break. The pilot and air traffic controller shortages causing major delays and cancellations all summer long. And travelers are annoyed. The Department of Transportation says complaints rose 34.9% from May to June. That's 270% above pre-pandemic levels. Their pain is SetJet's gain. SetJet, if you never heard of it, members-only private luxury jet charter service. Being booked solid for the next couple of months. They even have a wait list. Members can board the jets, carry up to 16 passengers for as little as $99.95 a month. Joining me now on a Fox Business exclusive is the SetJet co-founder and CEO, Tom Smith. Tom, $100 a month, that's it. Then the cost of the flight, right?
That's correct. That's just the membership fee. And then it's, you have to buy a seat on the plane, and that's about $760 for our short hops here between the southwest of Arizona, Southern California, Nevada.
That's actually not that bad. So is that one of the reasons? Because it's affordable and you don't have to deal with all the headaches that you're so popular right now and you have this big wait list?
Correct, because we're actually giving people time back because you can show up 20 minutes before the flight. You get to travel in a luxurious large cabin aircraft, $750. You're not spending millions to buy a plane or tens of thousands for charter. So very similar to first class pricing, and you get an unbelievable experience flying out of private terminals on luxurious aircraft with our cabin hostesses. So it's really an amazing business model.
So what are your most popular routes?
Our most popular routes right now are Southern California and Las Vegas, and then surprisingly is Cabo. Even during this time of year, our routes from both LA and from Scottsdale to Cabo San Lucas have just been jam-packed. People are wanting to get out of there. And as you said, during the pandemic, it's all this pent-up demand for people wanting to travel, and it's frustrating going commercial. So this was a great opportunity for us and to see the people and the members coming and wanting to travel with us. And it's really been a boom for us, and providing this kind of level of service is unprecedented. So we're really transforming the industry.
Would you say that your clientele is inflation doesn't really affect them because they have enough money to go around? And I ask that with respect to, I believe you put in a fuel surcharge. If that's the case, what was the reaction to it by the type of customer that you fly?
Correct. Yeah, nobody unfortunately was immune to that, and nobody was happy about the fuel surcharge. But when prices tripled or quadrupled, we had to make an adjustment. And so we did add a fuel surcharge earlier this year. And obviously we got some people that weren't upset, or that were upset with it, but they understood. I mean, it was across, it's no matter how you travel, the cost of everything went up, and inflation certainly hit us as well.
What was the fuel surcharge? How much higher was it?
It was on a per seat basis, a couple $100 in some cases, because it really was, almost tripled or quadrupled depending on where we were going. Plus, we also had landing fees increase. So it really did have a dramatic impact on the industry as a whole.
Oh, geez, that is a big increase, whether you have the money or not. I'm just curious if at some point people say, I can't afford that, I just choose not to, because the price of X, Y, or Z is just exorbitant at this point.
Yeah, we don't lock them into long-term contracts. Our membership is monthly, so if they choose that they're not going to travel, but we are going to cap it because we want to make sure that we do have our members the ability to travel. So a lot of members are still, even though they may not travel, they're still holding on to those memberships, which is why we do have wait lists in certain areas. And then we're obviously looking at to continue to expand and grow. And that's, one of the nice things, while there's a lot of folks that are struggling right now, our business is expanding. We've had 9 straight quarters of top-line revenue growth. And that goes back to starting pre-pandemic in December 2019. So there's certainly a demand for the travel that we're providing.
What about your pilots? I mean, everyone's complaining you can't get a pilot to, enough pilots to fly where people want to go. A major problem right now. I personally like an older pilot. I say, oh, that, gray hair, that means he has experience and I might land safely. Are you having any issues getting talent, getting pilots and flight attendants?
Yes, it is an issue. Luckily, I don't have to deal with that directly. Our charter operator does, but we obviously work hand in hand with them. And pilot shortages, as well as supply chain issues on even aircraft parts, has been an issue. And so far, we've been fairly successful at navigating that and being able to provide the service to our members. But it is certainly top of mind that we're all focused on and looking at ways to attract talent, the older crew, as you say, that we want to make sure people feel comfortable. And on these large cabin aircraft, they certainly do. Quickly
here, Tom, the French transport minister is weighing this idea of taxing private jet use because they want to cut down on, carbon emissions and the like. If something like that were to happen or be floated here, how do you think your clients would respond? Taxing them to fly private?
Yeah, unfortunately, I think there's going to be a lot of pushback to that because we're quite more spread out here in the United States than there are in Europe. And it's the way of travel. You have to spend an entire day driving versus flying, and people aren't going to stop traveling. So I think that would be a tough row to hoe here in the U.S.
Tom Smith, thank you very much. Have a great weekend.
You too. Thanks so much. Take care.